Randy Orton.
Smooth.
You know, he's got a point. So John Cena was a guest on Chris Van Vliet's podcast, and when asked about original heel plans, well, let's just say bro dodged bullets like he's in the Matrix.
What was the original plan?
Let's start with, what is a plan? What is the definition of plan? Plans, planned pregnancy, unplanned pregnancy. John Cena for president, not because he's qualified, but because he knows how to say a lot without actually saying much of anything.
I don't care.
But let me make that clear. He's got a point. You know, I kinda agree with John Cena. We'll get into that in a second. But we'll also talk about LA Knight's future, masked man extravaganza, Drew winning the WWE title, and more on greatness of wrestling. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. How are you guys doing today? Join the population. Join the cult of the Great One. Let's grab each other by the hand. We are the world. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the second channel. Let's get into it. So yes, Chris Van Vliet had John Cena on his podcast. First of all, congratulations for the second time, people. Big deal, big deal. Chris is the best at it. We share a birthday, by the way. So only goats are born on May 19, and also Kane his mother or something like that. So first we're going to react to this video. John Cena should be a politician with these answers. Bro Cena got the PR team of doom. That literally wasn't even human. That was exactly how a robot would drink water.
I have...
Okay, let's get to the important part.
Right, you turned heel with The Rock and Travis Scott.
Yep.
What was the original plan for the involvement of Rock and Travis Scott?
This is where, like, who cares?
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter. We can talk about what could have been until the cows come home. And I think that's what's great about the people who were left standing. Certainly me and Cody. Changed. What's the change? This. All right, let's go.
Plans. What is a plan? Plans. Planned, unplanned, pregnancy. Sometimes planned, sometimes unplanned. You know, booking. What is a booking? You know, it comes from a word book. Do you read books? I like books. I've read thousands of books. So when we're talking about a heel turn, what we need to talk about is body parts, heels. Right here.
I don't dwell for 1 second on what could have been. Because what could have been is Brock doesn't leave for the NFL and there's no John Cena.
He goes way back.
Like, you know
what could have been is Jesus doesn't resurrect. You know, what could have happened is dinosaurs don't die, meaning John Cena is not the face of the company, people. I'm just having fun, people. I'm just having fun, shaking our cocoa jumbos. Exactly the point of this channel. But you know,
like,
could there have been a match with Rock this year?
Man, could there be anything? That's the thing.
Could there be anything?
Sucks about what could have been. It's not what is.
I love this shit.
So I think
was that ever talked about?
Was there anything ever talked about?
I don't care. Like, first of all, that doesn't. I'm always the last to know. It doesn't trickle down to me. If you watch Unreal, like, that process is genuine. I talked to Rock, and then I talked to this, and the last guy I got to call is John. I'm usually the last guy they call because I'm the easiest. Yeah, let's do it. No problem.
I don't know what it's gonna say anything.
And
it's pretty obvious why he's doing that. He needs to dodge these questions because it's The Rock who's, you know, at the top of the WWE, so he has to be careful. They're very secretive about this shit. So obviously the reason he's not answering these questions specifically is because of that. But he also kinda does have a point. Hypothetical booking is kinda pointless. It doesn't really matter. Things changed. What was the original plan was changed. It was no longer the plan. And what is even a plan, people? What is a plan?
I don't care. Shit changes. Open opportunity, income, Wade Barrett. And I love listening to that guy on TV. Not that I didn't love Pat, but I really like listening to Stu.
It's fantastic.
So I don't really sweat. Like,
I like how the conversation shifted so much. He's talking about Wade Barrett and Pat McAfee. Like how plans change. Stuff changes. Opportunities come. Dinosaurs.
But could there have been? That's why I don't choose my opponents. Like, I don't...
You didn't choose a single opponent this year?
The only thing I wanted to do, the only idea I gave was about Saturday night's main event on the 13th.
So that's also interesting. Basically, he decided not to main event the show, which I don't agree with, but I understand and I respect. He says it's all about the future, and if you look at the card, he's absolutely right. Now, this was hilarious, people, don't get me wrong. I love John Cena. I used to hate the guy as a kid, which made me watching wrestling so much more special. It was fun to hate the dude. I just find this very robotic. He knows what he's doing. He's so good at it. He's way too good at it. He's like a legitimate actor right now, right? Actors always give these kind of interviews, but for a professional wrestling interview, the rest of the interview was really, really good, and Chris Van Vliet did an amazing job, and John Cena is very interesting to listen to, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about some of the details, but you expect them to shoot, so this was kind of hilarious. Pretty much he doesn't care about alternative timelines, which makes sense. He's focused on the present. He's trying to prevent controversy. Obviously, he can't talk about The Rock, Travis Scott, cancelled storylines. You're going to see dirt sheets use that information, leeches like me talking about it, twisting his words. So he chose not to feel that, and I made a video anyway. He responded like a true veteran. Didn't bury the company, didn't bury The Rock, Travis Scott, even though he should have probably. So, a pro, a true veteran of professional wrestling. He also said AJ Styles is the greatest of all time. You love to hear it. You love to see people giving flowers to one and only AJ Styles. I absolutely love that. But then he said something I know he's playing this humble character, and I can respect that. Obviously, he carries himself with so much humbleness, loyalty, and respect. But he said, I went into business for myself when I gave AJ that introduction, and then I apologized to everybody. Like, come on. It was a nice gesture. You're John fucking Cena. Let's not pretend you're some you're John fucking Anthony Felix Cena Jr. That's who you are. You don't need permission for that kind of shit. So I, can respect he's being a veteran, he's being professional and all that, but come on. You just did a nice thing to AJ Styles. It's not like he's gonna complain about it. It's not like WWE complained about it. Probably everybody was happy with that shit. He also made a point I actually made years ago. Oh my god. So, John Cena, the greatest one. He said, well, sometimes you need the bad to get the good. The bad was the Brock Lesnar match, the good was the AJ Styles match. Even though I cannot defend with my life, I cannot defend, gun to my head, I will not defend the WrestlePalooza match. I made this point years and years ago. Sometimes you don't need to get what you want. You need the bad to appreciate the good. What I mean by that is that WWE needs to piss you off sometimes. It needs to make sure your favorite superstar is not getting the opportunities he earned. That is one example. He keeps getting screwed like us by the WWE in our asses. And then, then eventually something good happens and you appreciate it that much more. If everything all the time makes sense, you don't get anything unpredictable, it becomes boring. So I can kinda see where John Cena is coming from. Was it a good excuse for the Brock Lesnar match? No. He probably could have lost. The match itself was just that freaking boring. So I don't fully agree, but I see where he's coming from. And it also goes to show you can actually defend anything. But I highly suggest you watch this interview. Obviously, I'm not gonna talk about the entire thing. Check it out. It's on Chris Van Vliet's channel. You probably seen it already. It has almost 400,000 views. But, class act, interesting interview. And, people... John Cena, that's it. It's like 3 days, right? So if you want to know my prediction, there is a video on my second channel. I'll leave that at the end of this one so you can click it. And let's talk about LA Knight. Yep. On Monday Night Raw, we saw LA Knight getting taken out by the Vision. A lot of speculation. What does that actually mean? What is happening to our boy LA Knight? Is he getting buried? Is he getting released? Is he getting written off television? What does that mean? Oh, the great one, the forehead. Can it see the future? I don't know, but according to bodyslam.net, LA Knight is expected to have a much better year in 2026 as he is currently being positioned as one of the top babyfaces in the company. The higher-ups are aware of the fan reactions and want to play the long game with Knight. So, good if true. Good day for us, the marks, if true, but are we buying this? At this point, are we buying in? How many reports like this we have seen? How many false promises the bald fraud made? How many bold promises the fraud bald made? Don't worry, 2026 will be better. I don't know, man, at this point. When did the rise of LKnight happen? I'ma guess 2022? Oh my god, he was already LKnight in 2022. You gotta be kidding me. Triple H keeps saying good things come for those who wait. We waited long enough, fraud. We waited long enough, fraud. Look, he's on TV. He's main eventing. He's always present, but it seems like he's not getting reward. And like I've said, if the crowd reaction, consecutive reaction for consecutive, I don't know, since 2022, it's not like one of these, oh, this guy is over in a couple of months, people forget about him. Not that situation. People are still chanting his name. If that is not a sign, if that is not I earned the push type of shit, I don't know what is. So to me right now it seems like he's being written off television. Does a Royal Rumble victory make sense? I wouldn't complain about it. I think literally out of anyone that would get the biggest pop. That would literally get the biggest pop. You have 3 people left: Roman Reigns, LA Knight, and I don't know, Braun Breaker, right? Pretty unpredictable. Anybody could win. LA Knight's probably getting eliminated though. And then LA Knight wins against all odds, somehow eliminating both Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker. And we could set up Roman Reigns versus Breaker if we want to. Crazy shit. Royal Rumble winner. I'm the most delusional man in the world, man. I am delusional. Let's talk about the masked man. It seems like not the same butt cheeks. We talked about not the same butt cheeks. It's a different person. According to Brian Alvarez, WWE has had multiple people under the mask for the mystery man helping the vision. This is an effort to throw fans off. Okay, makes sense. You know, I know some good cheeks when I see them. Austin Theory has a gigantic ass. That's it, that's the video, thank you for watching. So a lot of theories, no pun intended. Obviously, the first one being Austin Theory, which makes the most sense, and I hope it's Austin Theory. Maybe they actually planned this, but change their minds because, well, it's too predictable. Nah, bold fraud, no. Ricky Starks is another theory. Doesn't make a lot of sense, not the same body type, but like I've said, well, seems like it's anybody playing these characters. Ricky Starks, wouldn't complain about it, would still choose Austin Theory. Maybe it's legitimately Seth Rollins, which doesn't make any sense. Why would he help the Vision? Literally makes no sense whatsoever. Another possibility is Montez Ford. The way he climbs, the way he acts, doesn't necessarily seem like it was the person at Survivor Series, though possibly on Raw. I don't think so. I'm not buying it. But maybe it's multiple people. Maybe it's more than one person. That would make the most sense because it pisses me off. The idea that every week there's a different guy, it takes me out of this moment. I know wrestling scripted. It's just, sometimes I myself, people, I sin. I take this shit too seriously. A lot of people are saying, and this is just the worst part of the internet, why am I getting recommended this shit, especially on Facebook? Moxley. I think it's John Moxley. He's in AEW. How do you expect that to happen? I think it's Moxley. So when is the reveal happening? I do believe it's going to be on the Netflix anniversary of Raw, which makes sense. It's gonna be a big episode, so we might see the reveal and we might even get the return of Jericho. But so far it's pretty interesting. It keeps us guessing, so I guess WWE are doing good job for the most part. Let's talk about Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre will have another match, says bodyslam.net, and they claim said match will have significant storyline implications for both men. So what is that telling me? What is that? What signals is it sending to my forehead? What is coming out of it and getting translated to the cult? To the cult of the Great One, the sheep. Well, it basically tells me the best idea is a career versus title match. Yes, obviously we need to get to that first, but career versus title. I'm tired of corporate Cody, and the only way I'm gonna be happy is if corporate Cody is gone, and then Drew McIntyre wins the championship. You know, I really want Cody to take a break from that title. You know, we need something fresh. I like Cody. I didn't turn on the guy. I don't care. That's the problem. I don't care about his championship title reign right now. Where's Randy? What the fuck happened? And finally, people, we have the full match card for Saturday night's main event. We will say goodbye to one of the GOATs, John Cena. So John Cena versus Gunther, Bayley versus Sol Ruka, undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes versus NXT champion Oba Femi, AJ and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. I think outside of the John Cena and Gunther match, I'm very excited about Cody Rhodes versus Oba Femi. But what is my prediction? Well, gotta check out this video on my second channel. Subscribe because a lot of good content you missed is going to be on that channel. So I just have so many ideas, I can't fit everything into one channel. Check it out. Thank you very much.